So, welcome to the first episode of SOSC podcast. So, I'm Himanshu from SOSC and glad to present the first ever episode of SOSC podcast. So,
Myself, Amrit, and I'm glad I'm the part of first our podcast episode as well. Today we have with us Raj Rohane and his team at Edgetributors. We have Raj Rohane and we have Gagan Babu, we have Prashant and Shankar. Hi, they are the co-founders of Edgetributors, and yeah, we'll go ahead with the questions right away. So my question for you guys is, how did Edgetributors come to life?
Uh, I would like to say that I I needed to answer it, but I think the best person that always answer this in the best possible way is Shankar. It's because I was the one who was introduced to blockchain by Shankar, so he's kind of like my teacher. He might not be speaking here today, but he has the most talented person maybe in this room. So I think he's the right person to tell you the story about inception of Edgetributors.
Thank you, Raj, for so much of praising. Hi, I'm Shankar Varam, and I started my journey in crypto or blockchain space in 2017. I was in second year at that time, so I was contributing to multiple projects in open source fashion. And at one point, I realized okay, I found a project which I wanted to focus more on. So I pivoted over the period of time from non-technical side to technical side. And that was the Edgeware, that's the project name. So it's one of the Polkadot ecosystem projects, actually one of the earliest Polkadot ecosystem projects. And over there, I met a lot of contributors, including Gagan over here. And Prashant and Raj, they also shown interest at one point to contribute to Edgeware and to this vision of Edgetributors. So they are actually from same college. So we are from Atharva College of Engineering. And at one point, we realized that, okay, whatever the contributions that we are doing, whether they are technical, non-technical to Edgeware, they could be benefited for the whole Polkadot ecosystem. That's how the Polkadot ecosystem is designed, from the technical aspect as well as non-technical aspect. So we thought about scaling outside just the Edgeware. So we are Edgeware contributors. So when you merge that, Edgeware plus contributor, that's Edgetributors. Yeah. So that's how we founded Edgetributors almost 2 years back, I guess. Yeah. And we started with 3 primitives in mind. So at the core, we are builders. So we build different toolings, maintain a whole chain called Edgeware. And apart from building toolings, apps, everything, we also are curators. That's our business segment. So we basically look after onboarding individuals like you guys and businesses, teams, existing projects to the Polkadot ecosystem. So if any one of you have, let's say, any project idea in mind and want to pursue it as a startup, you can reach out to us and we will happily curate a proposal to onboard through different bounties or different funding opportunities through the Polkadot ecosystem. And this is not just restricted to those who have startup ideas, right? Let's say if you are looking for a job opportunity, if you are looking for an internship opportunity, then also you can reach out to us. And this is the role that we do as a curator. So this is not something you pay for. This is indirectly paid by the Polkadot community. And the third segment is what you have seen today, and that's the educator. So we as an educator host different activities. We host different workshops, started with Polkadot India workshop series from IIT Roorkee. We had the second edition in IIT Bombay recently in NITK and Manipal. And apart from this workshop series, we also represent Polkadot over the different conferences and blockchain-specific events like ETH India and other smaller events as well, hackathons majorly. And we host our own hackathons as well. So we hosted this Asset Hub hackathon in June in Goa. That was the first ever hackathon which was in hybrid format executed in India. So we got really good projects which we are still incubating for their further journey. So lot of people over here are hacking today, right? And the main thing that you need to focus on is it's not ending today, right? Whatever product you are building, that's something you can take it further, and that's something you can evolve into a startup or a vision which you can pursue with your fellow friends. Like I have my friends over here. So we became co-founders later. We became friends first. So that's how Edgetributor sub-DAO formed. Anyone would like to add anything to it?
I guess that's 20 minutes.
Okay, so moving ahead with the next thing that I wanted to ask. So as you said, you are graduates from Polka.Academy, right? Yeah. Raj specifically, yeah. So I wanted to know, what did you learn there? So like, how was the process? How did you find out about this? And like, what was your motivation behind wanting to complete this? And the benefits that you maybe got from it?
I would, kind of tell the story, of how I approached it. So basically, Shankar introduced me to Edgeware, right? And blockchain in general, right? Because substrate-based chains were my, first taste of blockchains, I would say. And then I wanted to go, deep down the rabbit hole. And I think I might have chosen the, one of the difficult, because substrate, right? It's made up of Rust, right? At the end of the day, it's a Rust framework, right? And you need to have this proficiency over Rust, right? If you want to even start building on palettes, right? Or even work on the node side, correct? Then still, I kind of deep dive into the rabbit hole. But at that time, like maybe 2.5 years back, I guess, it was still a very niche technology, like you had to read the docs. There were videos available, but if I wanted to, have a specific doubt in mind, I would maybe have to watch this 3-hour or 4-hour longer videos, right? And there were forums maybe, but sometimes the replies used to be late, right? At that point, I kind of realized that I wanted to, learn from someone who has actually built Polkadot, right? Like the engineers who were working behind Polkadot, and like basically a classroom thing, right? Because all I was doing was, reading docs, right? And which is a good habit if you're a developer, right? But sometimes when you have those questions and, you just want some person to figure the things out for you, right? So that is when I kind of heard about the Polkadot Blockchain Academy. And this was also helpful because at that time we were kind of doing upgrades for Edgeware. And I was quite new at that time. So I was like, it might be something that would be helpful for me. So then I found out about it. And then for Polkadot Blockchain Academy, at that time, you have to give this something called as a Rust qualifier exam, right? So I would be honest, I didn't, I wasn't selected at first time when I applied, because it wasn't tricky, but you have to be, very good at the fundamentals of it and actually, implementing the code snippets, that the exercises that they give, right? If you start giving that exam, it would be like, at the start, it would be a bit easy, but as you move on to like the traits and generics, everything, starts to kind of mix up for you. But yeah, it was a learning experience for me at that time, right? But then I did not give up. I kind of gave that exam again, and I was kind of selected by that time. That is like the first process. And the second process is they have this interview where they see your intentions, right? Like, why do you want to be at the academy? What are your goals, right? For me, I was already working in this ecosystem, right? I was already working on Edgeware, which is the substrate-based chain, right? It's the same tech stack, right? So then I explained my intentions at that point, and they were kind of pretty convinced at that point that, like, it's like, I would say the difficult part was clearing those exams rather than the interview. It's almost like whether you are fit for this academy or not, like whether do you want to work in this ecosystem for long term or not. It's that kind of question, I guess. And then we just we went to Singapore, and what's amazing was that we just had to pay for our flights, the rest of the stay in Singapore for 30 days, it was taken care of by Polkadot Blockchain Academy. And I would say we had a classroom size of almost 80 people from all over the world. And, just having this shared vision of, being interested in learning about not only just Polkadot, but blockchains, cryptography, economics, game theories, and then Polkadot in general. So this is like the kind of order that they were teaching us in, right? They don't just teach you to be, like good at Polkadot, but actually understand why systems like these are actually needed, right? Web3 is just not about crypto, right? It's a subset, right? It's a broader vision to, have control over your data, control over your assets, right? So that was the wider vision that, Gavin had, and he wanted to educate more people about it. So we had this, like, if you want to discuss about the days, right, how the days were structured in the academy. So, like, think of it like we had a week for a blockchain to, we had a week to understand blockchains. There were lectures from like 9 to 5 in the morning. There were breaks and stuff, but there were lectures. And at the night, you would get an assignment, which would be due in like 2 days. So it was, like, one thing they always told you was that, just sleep and come because you are not going to sleep here. And I would be honest, it was the most, sleepless, and, you're always, your brain is literally fried to a point, because at that time, even ChatGPT was kind of newer, right? And even if it was newer, it did not, because Substrate was such niche at that time that it wouldn't give you the answer. It would, if you ask something, it would confuse you more. It would be better if you understand things and write yourself. So luckily, like, I passed the academy, and then we had this graduation ceremony basically, where Mr. Gavin Wood himself, right, the founder of Ethereum, he himself, kind of, with the other founders of Polkadot, they give you certificate, they give you talks about, what you should be kind of doing this after that. There are like many kinds of opportunities, right? Either you can kind of work at Parity Technologies, which was the company behind Polkadot, right? And Kusama as well, which is the chain. And then you can even work at any of the parachains, right? Commercial parachains that are there. But, I was kind of more personally focused on, like, I was part of Edgeware, and we had been together. I saw that we could build something in the ecosystem, right? Like, as a team together, right? Because I think in our team we have specializations, right? Like, everyone is a special good at something, right? And I think you wouldn't get a team like that even if you go to companies, right? Any other companies. You don't know what kind of people you're working with. I know what kind of people I'm working with and what they are good at, right? So I think it was the right thing to do, right? And maybe this is the reason I'm still here doing this podcast.
Any idea what the graduation rate was for the academy?
I mean, I guess only two of the students got, they did not pass, but rest of them kind of passed. Yeah, so, but the thing is, the initial exam is difficult, but now if I tell you that initial exam is difficult, but now the recruiting pattern, right, like selection pattern has kind of completely changed. Now they don't have this test, but they have this interview where I think they give you a problem statement or something, or check your Rust knowledge, and it has changed a lot, right? Earlier they used to teach everything from Polkadot, right? Now they have went to courses as well called as PBAX, right? So if you are new to Web3 in general and blockchains, and you want to learn what it is, right? What blockchains are, what game theory is, what cryptography is, right? Or what Polkadot is, right? Or how it's made. So the basics are covered in this online PBAX course, and once you do that, you can apply for this offline cohort, and it happens all around the world, right? Because I was in Singapore, but after that it was in Switzerland, the next cohort, and the next cohort was in Bali, right? But you have to just book your flight tickets, rest they will take care of you. And then where was I?
Primarily just about we started this conversation because like graduation rate. Then you went on about the Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you just went on about it not like how the recruitment process is changing now.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just the exam that was difficult, but now it's the pattern checking itself.
Yeah. So what I wanted to tell was that now they have these DAP tracks as well. As I said, right, I started it by saying that, people need to know Rust, right? Even today when I asked in the classroom.
My next question was that for a complete beginner to the blockchain space, let me put it in another way. If you don't know blockchain right now, how would you study it again? What are the resources you would use?
I think the best resources to understand is like, this is what even Shankar suggested me at that time, but maybe at that time I might have took it a bit lightly, is it's called as MOOC's course by Web3 Foundation. It's available, easily available on YouTube. If you just watch it, right, it takes you from literally cryptography, starting from cryptography to, all the, what do you say, Byzantine fault tolerance and stuff. Then it takes you to what is proof of stake, what is Bitcoin. I mean, it takes you deep into the Bitcoin, right? Because the thing is, you need to understand why Polkadot came into being. You need to kind of understand a bit of how blockchain works, and that you understand that through Bitcoin, right? First, why Bitcoin was there, and then you understand why Ethereum was there, right? What problems did Ethereum solve? And then you learn that what Polkadot is trying to solve, what problems of Ethereum is Polkadot trying to solve, right? So it's a multi-step approach, right? If you just jump to Polkadot, you would maybe kind of lose the essence there.
But from that, last question to Gagan, would you like to add something apart from this?
Do you want to add some, I mean, I guess he's a lot in trading and stuff, so I don't know, like, do you have any advice and stuff?
Yeah, don't start trading. Unless you want to lose a lot of money, don't start. Anyway, I mean, it depends on what you like. I mean, everybody sees crypto as some ways to make money. A lot of money just come in. It's not that easy, and you have to spend a lot of time looking at charts and looking at other people's analysis. And it's boring at some point, and that's when you start taking risks, and that's when you start losing money. So unless you have a lot of patience and a lot of, passion in understanding how the market works, because market is very emotional. So it's not just about charts. You have to look at news, whatnot, and everything. So I wouldn't recommend for everybody unless you really want it.
So, like, regarding the trading part, what is your opinion of like the current crypto thing with all the meme coins, rug pulls, and pump and dump schemes?
We don't want to make it controversial, but
Yeah. I made money on meme coins, but I don't really like meme coins because it kind of goes against everything that we stand for. It's just pump and dump. Somebody pumps and it has zero utility for the meme coins. I mean, if you take top 20, some of them like Shiba Inu, Pepe. I mean, at least Doge got something because Elon took over. But in current market, not to get too into it, but it is being a little bit manipulated here and there. So that's why I'm being wary of you guys to get into it. Like, you don't believe everything you hear, and do DYOR, do your own research before any sort of like actually putting your wealth into the crypto market.
He said he don't recommend trading to everyone, right? But one thing I would recommend to everyone is the same Web3 Foundation's MOOC course. You will find it on YouTube, right? It's a free playlist. Why I would highly recommend it, irrespective whether you want to pursue a developer journey, because it gives you an understanding from an aspect where you can decide, okay, I'm really interested into Web3 technology, although I don't want to pursue from the technical point of view. You can basically use that knowledge to basically crack, let's say, a management role, an operations role, anything. Let's say social media, marketing. There are a lot of opportunities in Web3. And for that, you need that basic understanding which that course covers, and it's a free course. Like, technically, it's not a course, it's a playlist. And I'm sure if you start watching it, you will binge watch it for sure.
And adding to Gagan, right, when he said don't trade, actually, I mean, when I came to blockchain, it was never about those meme coins or pump and dump. I always think myself as this tech guy, a guy who is interested in how basically things work, right? And I wanted to work on the cutting edge technology, right? And at that point in time, right, this felt like this is the thing I should be, working on. And that is what led me to, like, because blockchains are systems itself, right? And they're kind of distributed systems, right? So I was more interested in understanding how they work. And basically, if you do something you like, right, you don't think of it as work, right? So that is what my motto was, I guess. And maybe it's helping me, get to podcasts like these, right? And hackathons and judging at hackathons and being a mentor or, speaking at this at different colleges. So yeah, and another thing is he mentioned about the Web3 Foundation, right? And I am since a PBA grad, so I would chill about PBA as well. So we have this PBA X, as I said, right, which is PBA accessible, so anyone can watch it, right? So it's basically $100 course, but currently they give us discounts of $50. Like, so basically you can just get that course at $50, right? But for that you need to join our Telegram group, which we had shared earlier. So yeah, if you want, because this is a kind of a newer content, right? And it also covers the changes that Polkadot the changes that has been took place in the Polkadot, right, ecosystem. This is what it covers, and like the faculties are the one who have actually worked on these, who have actually worked on Polkadot, or if they have worked on Web3 Foundation, which is like think of it like a research team of Polkadot, right? Yeah, so that is what I wanted to add.
Not sponsored by Polkadot, by the way.
Yeah. Soon maybe.
Soon maybe, one day.
Yeah.
Maybe this will be the way.
Yeah.
And another, this is just a off the head question. It's for all of y'all. Like, I was just thinking, like, all other technologies aren't really very tied to people's sentiments and like the job market and stuff like that. But blockchain and crypto is very tied to like how people feel about it, right? Like, because it's kind of like the stock market. Like how if people like it, it goes up. If people don't like it, it goes down. So how do you all feel working in such a volatile market? Whereas other technologies are more stable, like it has its highs and then it slowly fades away. Whereas blockchain and crypto usually like sort of has with spikes and downs and ups and downs. So it's a very volatile industry, right? So what are your feelings of working in such an industry?
Yeah, it does get hard pretty sometimes. I mean, most of the times, but it's not stable yet. Blockchain crypto is not stable yet compared to like if you consider like Web 2 as back in the 90s. I don't think they provided much job offers as well, and it might have been risky for them to get into that stuff. So until and unless blockchain becomes the norm, I think these uncertainties are going to follow. And it might be in a few years or it might be in a decade, but yeah, it's going to be there for a while. And sometimes it works with your emotions a little bit because sometimes you're at a really big high price and you're really good, and then at some point it just comes down to the same spot and you're like, where did I go wrong? Type shit.
That basically means this is too early. Yeah, and consider this as an opportunity, right? Back in the days when internet was new, right? People were like couple of people were selling actually pixels on website, and that doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah, but crypto actually had that phase, or maybe just came out of that phase. So this is a phase where the actual development is happening, and this is the opportunity for students, professionals, anyone who wants to tap into this space, because once it matures, you said volatility is there, right? That volatility comes with benefits as well, right? So that potential of growth won't be there once this space will be matured, like every other space. So this is actually a consider this as an opportunity, and maybe you can find your next feat. Let's say that could be founding a new thing, or maybe working for your next dream company. Not necessarily from India, outside India. Could be anything, right? So crypto unlocks that opportunity on a global level, is what I would say.
And another aspect I would like to add specifically is the, Web3 technical part aside, but there is the strong community, right? That is the need of community, right? When the times when you are low, right? Your community is what gives you, new gigs and new opportunities, right? And your circle is not just within India, right? It's all around the globe now, correct? So that kind of helps you, like the community is there in good times and in the bad times, right? You just have to, be aligned with the vision, long-term vision.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, these guys are the technical guys, and I'm pretty sure they know the ins and outs of the ecosystem. And if you have like any doubts or queries, you can, anytime come to them. But I would like to highlight that, all of the hard work they do, there has to be someone, who shows that. So I take care of the content side. So I do want to say, please follow Edgetributors on X. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll put all the details of Edgetributors on the description of the podcast for sure. And thank you for being the guest of first ever SOSC podcast. It was nice having Edgetributors with us today. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to, be part of this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you to the audience as well.